Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for the briefing about Grandville's current problems and proposed solutions. As you all know, that we are currently in a situation where Grandville is going through with a lot of issues. Um, so we will discuss those. Agenda of today's briefing is that we will discuss the current problems with the possible solutions and human factor theories. I reviewed few theories and picked up the one which is best fit in the model of Granville. And then I'll discuss the Granville's model in the best fit theories perspective. We'll propose some recommendations and then we will conclude this briefing. We will here we go through with the Granville's current problems. The slide in revenue is our main problem as I become the CEO of the company. Currently, the situation was that the company was having a 2% slide in a revenue, which we initially thought is because of the transition of me being a CEO, and our CEO moved to TES as his GM operations. So we will cope up with this time, but with the passage of time, it moved from 2% to 5%, and then from 5% we have a projection that this will lead to the 8% slide in the revenue in the coming year, which is really alarming for us. We have our industry consultant report. They are reporting us that our technology is aging, and we have to replace it soon with a new technology to compete with the world. Otherwise, the other companies will lead, and Granville will be more in a bad situation as far as the technology and sales are concerned. We some of us already know that employee union is having some roots in Granville from past few years, and now because the situation is in their favor, as we have a slide in revenue, we are not able to provide the required employee benefits that we were giving them from a few years. Also, employee union is becoming another big issue at Granville right now. Then our VP Human Resource, she gave us a very alarming um, data regarding the employee turnover, and that was quite a disturbing rise in the employee turnover. And she presented that there are two reasons. One is that the employees are taking early retirements, and the second is unexpected resignations. And we are relating it with all that above Granville's situation because we have some aged loyal employees who are still with us, but the newcomers, the young employees, they are looking for other jobs. Then 2 weeks ago, as Mr. Seymour know, that he sent me a letter suggesting that we can consider to take our operations to South Korea. Um, Based on that, we have a town hall, and yesterday, um, we in the town hall, it was an embarrassing situation for us that one of the member, and he's also very active in the union. He raised his hand. He pointed out that what about our operations taking it to South Korea? And on my reply that we don't have such proposal on the table, um, he replied, "I am lying," which is very embarrassing situation that how the confidential information is leaked. That leads to the employee distrust because employees we figured it out from the town hall and the turnover and the employee union that employees have a distrust on Granville. So I go through with few human factor theories to pick up the best fit for Granville's scenario. I went through the HRM theory, the theory XY, motivational theory, two-factor theory, and theory Z. And the one that I picked up in the Granville's analysis and think it's the best fit is the theory X and Y. And explain that why I think that this theory is the best fit. Douglas McGraw theory X and Y is actually based on his interest to see that what motivates workers to do their job. He also based this theory on motivational beliefs of managers, which is very interesting for me as a manager. That the manager's belief is actually very dependent on what manager is behaving, and that behavior of the manager has a direct influence of the employee behavior. Or I explain further with this graphical picture of theory X and Y. That theory X manager believe that employees are lazy and they are not able to complete their task on time. So we have to have the strict control over them, and that strict control lead the manager to give the order to employees and to the team. The team follow the orders, and because they are just getting the dictations or orders, they are not enjoying their work much, which leads them to delay the work or have a resistance at work, and which eventually become like a poor performance or poor results, and it leads to the less production, which actually proves the manager X belief that these employees are not able to do their work and they are lazy. On the other hand, if the theory Y manager is thinking that everybody has a potential to do their work on time, and we just have to give them the winning situations. They don't have a strict control on their employee. They give them the free hand to do their job. They instead of ordering the task, they delegate the work, and employee know their targets, and they do their best effort to complete their job, which leads them effectively to perform their work and enjoy their work, and it leads to a best output, which increase the production, and that improves the theory why managers believe that employees have a lot of potential to do a better or a good job. Before putting this theory X and Y in Granville's scenario, um, it is very important to understand the TES vision and how TES influence on GVE. So TES, as we all know, is a company, is an international company who is known for buying small businesses and combining or merging them for effective business. And sometimes they also encourage them to move their operations to overseas for a cheaper market. Keeping this in mind, we also know that our ex CEO is now the GM operations for TES. So his interest and goals are the same, or vision is the same as the TES vision. Although he is type Y manager, always encourage me to do my job, giving me every possible winning situation or scenario that I will complete my task on better than I can. But he has influence from the vision of TES to run GVE. Same another person is the chief financial officer, who is Mr. Lazio, and have a we I actually when go through with all these scenarios and problems of GVE was so busy that missed a point from CFO that he want to put in my ears the news that he's recommending to Mr. Seymour about moving our operations to overseas. So that's also related with the TES vision. Our current CFO was actually working under this Mr. Lazio, which is the CFO of TES now. So that's how the GVE's vision is actually controlled by TES. Now let's see this scenario in a Theory X model. As I explained, that Mr. Seymour, the part owner of GVE, is now promoted as a GM for TES, and TES has a control on GVE, wanted to outsource the company, and then conveyed that message to me as a current CEO of a GVE. So although Mr. Seymour is a type Y manager, he is not uh, he's not giving me these orders, but he conveyed the message of TES to me because that reflects the TES management's vision. The C Now the going through multiple challenges. The GVE is going through multiple challenges. The employee, they are not enjoying their work, and that's the reason the confidential information is leaked and there is a lack of trust. So the work has a resistance in the form of employee union, and also because they're not enjoying the work, they're less focusing on its outputs and the results, which is coming up as a form of a poor results and a less production, which is a less revenue, and that's what's actually leading to the TES management's vision that they are not able to operate here. We have to take them to overseas for a cheaper market and the labor. So based on that, I have few recommendations. That first of all, we we need a unity in management's vision and goals for GVE. When I say we, it means that I want to make it clear to Mr. Seymour that either we have to go through with our vision as a GVE, or we have to go with the TES management's point of view. If we are clear and we and he have a trust on us that he will give us the bring the business and we will run it, we will definitely take it to higher levels. Communicate often and be transparent, which means that your employees have a distrust. They need to know what's going on. So we have to communicate often and we have to be transparent to them. Upgrade the technology and strengthen the R&D division. So that as we discussed in our problems that we have a report that our technology is aging, so we have to invest more on R&D division and have to upgrade our technology. We have to give employees performance awards and accountable those who are sitting within our groups and leaking that confidential information out, creating more disturbance. With that, I conclude that the Granville have a huge potential to lead worldwide, and we need to gain our employees' trust back, and that's how we are committed to do that. And with the end, I would say that the best strategy in a worst situation is to learn from mistakes and move forward. We will take Granville back into its original position and lead the company internationally. Thank you.